Now, urgent evacuations are underway in Umlazi, where heavy rains have triggered dangerous mudslides in H section. About 50 houses are at risk of collapsing as the saturated ground continues to shift beneath them. The Department of Human Settlements has begun moving more than 1,200 residents to safety, while provincial and national leaders are preparing to visit the area. We now cross to Nobuhle Modise, who is on the ground in Umlazi. Nobuhle, good afternoon to you. Just talk to us about the emotional impact that this is having on homeowners, especially not knowing what's next when it comes to their belongings.
Indeed, Katloho, many of them here saying this issue is something that hasn't started now, but these recent rains that we saw just last week are exacerbated the situation here at H section in Umlazi. We understand that over time, gradually, their homes have been showing signs that they might collapse should there be more inclement weather, and what we see now is completely devastating. And just to show you, Katloho, what I'm talking about, these houses that you see here that are still standing are a ticking time bomb on their own. As you can see, the ground has shifted. Many of the reinforcements that you see here have completely collapsed, and should there be more inclement weather at this point in time, that house that you're looking at the moment might just collapse. As you can see, it's an empty house. These people in this house have already been evacuated, and this seems like it's a situation throughout this entire section where if you look at each and every house here, there is a huge crack. Those who are still here are currently being evacuated, and those where you can see that the damage is completely, dangerous, those people have been evacuated. The house that you see now, as you can see there, in between this corrugated iron structure and the house that's brick and mortar, that's a brick and mortar structure, you can see there that the ground has lifted, and the corrugated iron structure, it seems as though there are still people living there. But should there be anything that happens, I mean, even when you walk here, it's quite dangerous, Katleho. We weren't sure, we were hearing noises earlier on, and we weren't sure where those noises were coming from, and that's what the situation here is like. I'm going to allow my colleague Lungelo Zungu to just be able to remove his camera off the tripod so we can just show you the extent of the damage here that's been happening over time. And it seems as though the Human Settlements Department, as you would have heard them last week when we were here on Friday, they were speaking of the fact that they're being proactive, making sure that they're evacuating people just in time, so that should there be more inclement weather, they know that there are people, there are no people that are left here. You can see this home, it's completely destroyed. The structure is completely destroyed. You can see that the part of the home has already caved in. This particular house, the people that live here have been evacuated. I do actually have, in fact, with me the lady who owns this home. She's right here with me. I'm going to bring her into the conversation just to speak to her about what has happened here, how long it's been happening, and when it is they were eventually moved out of this particular structure. Mama Nozipho, ngiyabonga kakhulu ukuthi uvume ukukhuluma nathi. Mhlambe sichazele ukuthi qaqala kanjani la njengoba sekubona sekunje.
Qaqala ngama-crack. Bekuba khona i-crack evaleka ngocement. Ngivale next week mangibuya ngifike isivuleke emongo phinde ngivale kwagcina singasavale ngocement, agcina sengifaka amatshe ngifaka amatshe siye phasikeni vele nje kecacela ukuthi ikhona into enkulu ezayo. Mangibuye phasikeni kwabonakala ukuthi angizami indawo ngimove nezingane, ngithuthe nje olesibili olesithathu ngamuva njengamanje ngisenqashweni la ngikhona ngoba ngibona ukuthi sisenkingeni nezingane, kodwa nje qale ngama-crack. Qala ngama-crack nje.
Aqale nini inkinga le nkinga le nayo la nibhekene nayo, ngoba ngiyabona ukuthi imizi eminingi la inama-crack nje, into yeminyaka, into yamanje, mhlambe sichazela ukuthi yaqala nini kahle kahle.
Noma ngeke ngisho ukuthi eyeminyaka ngoba mina la ngilethwe umxhaso ngisuka ngale kwenye area, ngisuka ngale nje eduze kodwa ngalethwa ngala. Ngeke ngisho ukuthi eyeminyaka, kodwa mina mhlambe nginawo 10 years ngila. Kuyaqala ukwenzeka mina ngila ngoba sengihlala isikhathi eside kwalo crack. Kwagcina ke sekwenjena ke khamba sekubonakala ukuthi umgodi kuvuleka umgodi ngaphakathi endlini, ngoba mangabe ungangena nje kitchen ngifaka amatshe kubonakala ukuthi nako makhelwana ayenzeka ama-crack. Sazitshela ukuthi mhlambe inkinga mhlambe yemxhaso, mhlambe lezi indlu lezi eziseceleni izindlu engizextendile eziseceleni njengoba nazo zicrack nje. Kwayise ngoba sobona ukuthi asiphumeke saphuma ke.
Siyabonga kakhulu, Ma'am Nozipho. Katlego, she's explaining here that these homes that are built here are government subsidized. And so she thought that the issue came with the fact that maybe that's the reason why many of them were cracking because of the quality, or it could be anything else. But she says she then extended her home but realized that it's still continuing to crack. As you can see, she has left this home. She says she's currently renting elsewhere. She's been in the area for 10 years and she says she can't really say when this started, but she did say that when it did start, she did try and fix some of these cracks, but the more she was trying to fix, the more damage was happening. The bigger the cracks were becoming and the bigger the hole was becoming. She was speaking there to the fact that inside the house is actually a hole just inside. And this is just the reality of the many people here. I mean, even just the house next door, it seems as if it's also been evacuated. There is a huge crack just right in the middle of that hole. My colleague Lungelo is showing you that. And this is the reality of the people of H section here in Umlazi, where these houses seemingly have been cracking over time. You see this structure here completely obliterated. You can see here that those heavy rains that we saw last week were as a result, the result of this collapse is as a result of those heavy rains. And also, Katlego, you know, the community here also, it seems as though there's other points that are bubbling under in terms of, services that are brought to the community. As we were driving in and as we're walking in to try and get into these homes, we did notice that many of them are collecting water from a pipe that has burst, and this is the only way they are able to get any form of water. But in fact, I do have with me Ndubuhle Modise, who is from the Human Settlements Department, and I want him to talk to the fact of the evacuations that are meant to happen here. Thank you very much, Ndubuhle.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Very unfortunate situation. Once again, we are dealing with a crisis. Over the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about a cut-off low pressure system. The low pressure system that gets separated from the main airflow, resulting in rain concentrated in one place. Over the past couple of days, on Friday in particular, we had a prolonged rainfall hitting Durban. If you look at this area, you've got the water table rising. As it is rising, you have water that is resurfacing, compromising the foundation. That is why you see the walls bowing. That is why you see the houses collapsing. It's because of the water that is resurfacing as a result of the water table that is rising. It is purely because of the deadly combination, the cut-off low pressure system and the water table. Now, there is no drainage system in the world that can really withstand a cut-off low pressure system. It's a very deadly combination. But now what is happening is that the MEC Sponsor Duma received a distressed call from the local councillor Mhleng Shinga, as well as a committee member Nonku. And the CCCR, they actually contacted the MEC requesting him to intervene. So we can indicate that as we speak, the MEC is in a meeting dealing with the entire, relocation of this community. We talk here about more than 50 houses. Some have collapsed, some are collapsing, as you can see. And we talk here about more than 1,200 committee members. The team was here on Saturday doing the profiling, working with the National Minister, Thembisi Melane. She's coming here. She'll be here this evening, going to Tubale in Melmoth, coming back here in eThekwini, because if you look at various parts of KwaZulu-Natal, we've been hit by the cut-off low pressure system. A lot of rainfall that has been falling. Now, the mayor of eThekwini, Cyril Xaba, has also assigned the team from eThekwini municipality. So we've got 3 teams, the province, Department of Human Settlements, as well as national, working in an integrated fashion to ensure that we are able to relocate the families.
Where are we relocating these families to, and will we see a situation like we saw in the April 2022 flooding, where people were stuck in temporary accommodation and essentially complaining about the conditions, and then some of them even moving back to the very same places that are deemed not okay for anybody to live in? Where are we taking these people? When are and what's the process there?
Once bitten, twice shy. On Friday, the MEC presented the budget speech for the Department of Human Settlement. What he articulated is a clear intervention, inspiring hope for a better future. He had meetings with the traditional leaders here in eThekwini in semi-urban areas where there is land available. Other than that land that is available, where the traditional leaders have agreed to allow communities that are affected by floods to be moved to those areas, that one has been sorted. We've got land that is available. It's just a question of then, coordinating the movement of people to that land. We also have 6 pockets of land that have been rezoned. Splumna, the Special Planning and Land Use Management Act has been followed to ensure that that land is habitable. We've got water license use, a license to use that land. So we've complied with all the legislations to ensure that the land that we are going to be using to house these families is habitable. And again, we can indicate that there is urgent temporal accommodation that is being arranged. The team is working on that. From Saturday, they were here yesterday. They were also here, and they are here again to deal with all of those processes.
Thank you very much. We'll leave it there for now. That is Ndabezit Lesbiya, who is the spokesperson for the Department of Transport and Human Settlements in the province.